Yo, 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 yo. What is going on, COD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and today I wanted to do a quick, just like realistic approach to a season reset. This is something I've been getting a question about from players within our family's alliances, players that are outside of it. I'll get messaged and people will just hit me up on Discord and say, hey boss, do seasons really reset the progress? Do they reset everything? And if they do, I just don't know if I'm really going to want to play Call of Dragons. I am here today to basically put all myths to rest and to give you a realistic approach and understanding in COD on how anyone who tells you that the season resets are a drag or it's a bore or it's unfortunate or it's a turnoff could not be farther from the truth. And I'm going to explain to you and most likely illuminate your world like the Disney princess that I am on the inside one day a week for about a minute a day that we'll just keep between us. So let's first break down what actually gets reset versus does not get reset. So we have a baseline to go from. Let's look here. So let's start with what does not get reset. What does not get reset is your buildings, your academy tech. These are the levels. Here, so that, as an example, if your buildings are at all level 25, those stay. If you've maxed out your academy tech and you got T5, that stays. Hero and artifact star rating and skill levels, right? Remember, there's three things that go into heroes and artifacts. It's star rating, skill levels, and EXP level. Troops. So if you had 1 million troops, those stay. They don't get reset. Resources. If you have 100 million of each resource, gold, wood, ore, and mana, those stay. The number of speed ups that you have, those will stay. Now let's talk about what does get reset. Your hero and artifact EXP levels, right? Those will get reset to 1. So that means all of those will just be at level 1. Tactics manuals, which is EXP for heroes. CP items, which is your command points. That's what you use to attack PvE units, rallies, etc. That's something that you should be using for the most part, so that way you're not letting that just kind of go scrapped. Arcane Dust, that's what you're using for leveling up your artifacts, right? So basically the comparison to tactics manuals, but except those are for heroes. Your policies will get reset. This to me isn't really a big thing. This is kind of, I view this as your Lord talents in Infinity Kingdom for those that play that. And the fact that they reset for everyone, I just don't view as a bad thing. Prestige, your merits. This is something that will get reset, right? So your prestige would be your points on the leaderboard, right, for personal merits. And then your merit points the amount of prestige you have, I should say. Let me be very specific there, right? So your prestige, which is the actual amount of prestige that you have, and then your merit points are the points that you're getting for fighting, right? And I probably should clarify that just because that is different. And the merit points, like I said, those are the PvP points you get for fighting. Those will get reset, so you do want to make sure that you're using those in your alliance shop because there is a second shop in your alliance's shop that is for using those points. So don't let those go to waste. And then you have your Legion medical supplies. These are where your things that you're able to instantly heal a number of units within your hospital. So something that honestly you probably should use just so it doesn't go to waste. Dragon Trail will get reset, but again, that's for everyone. Your fog. Now, fog may be reset. This is kind of the iffy one because for the past few merged kingdoms, we've been seeing fog has actually not been there. So this seems to be somewhat of a kind of shadow ninja change that was made without anything really stated in the patch notes from at least what I was able to tell and read. Caves, Villages, and Wonders. Again, this depends. If the fog is cleared, then I haven't noticed this is something that they can re-grab. So again, kind of a small adjustment. And then, of course, the alliances. So if you're looking at everything here, right, let's really talk about what are the two biggest impacts here. It would be the first one, which is your hero and artifact EXP levels and Dragon Trails. Those are the two biggest areas that get reset in from one season to the next, right? Outside of that, everything else is kind of superficial, right? It's kind of minor in that regard, right? Maybe you could make the argument for policies, but I view that it's the same for everyone, and I just don't think that's really as big. I think probably the bigger thing is the hero and the artifact levels, and then the Dragon Trail. But let me explain now and kind of give you my realistic approach here. You are going to be able, if you actively play your account in Season 1, by the time you get to Season 2, and for how active you are in Season 2, and then you eventually get to Season 3, the longer your account continues to develop, as an example, once you get to max building level, once you get to max tech level, once you get to max VIP, and or just working your way up to those, you will eventually be able to start leveling. And the fact is that you're going to level your heroes and your artifacts and your dragon trail faster in Season 2 than you would have in Season 1 when you were just starting out. Why? Because your account is stronger, it's more developed, it's progressed more, you have more passive benefits, or more passive buffs, I should say, that are available to you. And you also have higher tier troops. You probably have more troops than you did when you were just starting out. So because of all of these things and more, you will be able to level up your heroes, level up your artifacts, and progress in Dragon Trail faster and farther than you were able to in Season 1. So every consecutive season that you play, eventually, once you get max buildings, max tech, and max VIP, you'll be leveling your characters that much faster when the next season comes around. You'll be able to do higher level Darklings earlier on and staying out for longer because of the fact that your account's been progressing. So this is something that I just think is a very common misconception, where players will come out and they'll say, oh, well, I don't like this because of the fact that it resets, when in reality, as you continue to play, it will just take you less and less time each season reset to re-level these heroes back up, and you'll actually be able to level them most likely farther than you were in the first season, right? As long as you're active and you keep up your account. Of course, there is let's be honest, it is a little bit of a drag to have to redo things, but I want to point out that Call of Dragons is Call of Dragons. It's not Rise of Kingdoms, it's not Lords Mobile, it's not State of Survival, it's not Infinity Kingdom, it is COD. And so, I think, excuse me, understanding that the game is different, and we should not be trying to necessarily compare this game and make it, or try to make it, into another game. It is Call of Dragons, that's what it is, and it is different at a fundamental level. And for me, personally, I actually like the season reset. I think there's other inherent benefits that it brings outside of players having to just re-level, and yes, you'll be able to do it faster during the next season. But I also think that the season resets itself provide a little bit more of a free-to-play friendly atmosphere, where those who are grinding are going to be able, over a period of time, to, if they keep up that pace consistently, be able to eventually catch some of the spenders that are farther ahead in that way. Because once the reset kicks, if you're spending, you either would have to re-spend a certain amount of money every season reset, or you'll have to grind and not spend as much. And I think that just favors the free-to-play. It doesn't mean that, free-to-play is going to be able to just completely overpower a spender, right, if it's something like a one-on-one, but it does give free-to-play the opportunity to catch up in some ways because of the season reset. That does play a little bit more into their favor. And I think this is just one of the areas that I like about, again, one of the other areas I should say that I like about Call of Dragons and their approach to the genre. I think the season reset is something that's fresh, at least with the way they're doing it, because I haven't played another Kingdom Builder that is doing season resets. So for me, it is new, but it is something that I'm not against, right? I want to see how it's going to play out over a couple seasons, or a couple more seasons, especially to see what they do season 3, season 4, season 5, get a little bit farther down the road. We also have to wait to see what's going to happen with the new map. So again, there are some unknowns. I just don't think we should necessarily be quick to jump the gun and say, oh, well, I absolutely hate this. I mean, if that's the case and you're really that much against it, my recommendation is just don't play Call of Dragons. Go play something that you really like. And, don't try to turn Call of Dragons into something it's not. So that's my recommendation. That's my opinion. That's my view. This is something that, again, I'm looking forward to, and I am curious to see how they develop it. But I did want to share what I feel is just a realistic approach to hopefully explain and inform to those watching this that the season reset is not as bad as people are as some may be making it out to be, and it really isn't that bad at the end of the day. So I hope that this video did a good job of explaining that. I, of course, shared my thoughts. I would love to hear from you, the community. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Why not? Let me know in the comments down below. That is going to be it for me. As always, until next time, I will catch you later.